When Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, lost his re-election bid to his Democratic challenger and current President Joe Biden, many political observers, including Democrats, believed that he was dead and buried, that his political career was over as soon as it began in 2015. What many failed to realize was that the New Yorker was only getting started. Now it appears that Mr. Trump may rise from the ashes like a phoenix to reclaim the White House. Hello and welcome to yet another exciting video on our channel. In this video, we will review ongoing events in the politics of the US and why many analysts believe that the former president may likely become president again in 2024. So sit back, relax, and let us explain in detail why this is not just a pipe dream of Trump's MAGA sympathizers, but actually a possibility, especially as we head into the midterms in 2022. When the former US president was departing the White House in the wake of the January 6th protests at the US Capitol, many believed that was the last time he would ever set foot into the Oval Office ever again. However, in a dramatic turn of events, after only 9 months out of power, many people now believe that his return is not just a possibility, but an inevitability. So strong is the sentiment behind his return that bookmakers have slashed the odds of him returning as president. And as you know, when bookmakers move away from sports into the world of politics just for one man, then you better believe that the sentiment is real and strong.
What are your plans for 2024?
So, I love our country. I think you'll be very happy. I would say this 2-3 years ago, you might not have been that happy, but now I think you'd be very happy.
In just 9 months, the current Biden administration has done such a bad job on the foreign and domestic front that Biden poll numbers have plummeted to well under 50%. In the last series of polls released, the current president is trailing behind the man he defeated only 9 months ago in a presidential election. But why? Why has Joe Biden become so unpopular to the point where he has been mocked at sporting grounds with chants like F Biden and Let's Go Brandon?
The Fuck Joe Biden chant trend keeps growing across the country.
How has he been able to exhaust the goodwill with which he rode to power? Here are some of the reasons behind the sudden re-emergence of Donald Trump and why he could win back the White House for the Republicans in 2024. Biden won the Democratic nomination in the midst of a heated primary election against a loaded platform of challengers, of which one of them was Kamala Harris, who is now vice president. One major reason why he was able to defeat Harris, Bernie Sanders, and a host of others was because he was seen as the great unifier, the middleman who would unite the party and the nation, a man who would not bow to the emerging left. Unfortunately, in less than a year in power, it appears that the radical left headed by Sanders and the radical congresswomen in the House of Representatives have taken over the party completely. This group of leftists now dictate the policy of Joe Biden's administration and even go as far as to hold the government and the party ransom when they don't have their way. In Congress, Senate Democratic leader Schumer and Speaker of Congress Nancy Pelosi cannot control the leftist uprising, and neither can Biden. Radical moves like defunding the police, the Green New Deal, critical race theory being taught in schools, as well as other radical policies, has alienated the Democratic Party from many moderate Democrats and independents on whose backs Biden rose to power. Without a solid base to back him up against a supercharged Republican base, Trump's chances are getting brighter by the day. Biden unveiled his Build Back Better plan during the campaign, promising his voters universal healthcare, green infrastructure, free schooling for kids, and a host of other social incentives. This plan formed the foundation of his campaign, which got him the votes. However, passing the plan through Congress has been a tough nut to crack. Funny enough, the bill is not being held to ransom by Republicans as expected. Instead, his own party is behind the delays. Democrats do not need Republicans to pass the bill since they control both chambers of Congress. The sticking point has been the cost of the plan. Biden says the plan will cost $0. Some Democrats and media outlets say it is a $3.5 trillion plan. Others say it will cost more than $6 trillion. The potential problems this will cause by raising the debt ceiling by a few more trillions has fractured the party, pitching moderate Democrats against the left wing of the party. Two major opponents of the plan are Virginia Senator Joe Manchin and Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema. There have been negotiations for the cost to be reduced to under $2 trillion, but the left wing of the party has rejected the call, asking for an all-or-nothing bill. If the Build Back Better plan falls through, Biden will lose a significant percentage of his base. If a small section of his plan is passed, leftists will feel betrayed by him. Whichever route he takes, Biden risks exposing himself to the massive red wave gathering steam as the 2022 congressional polls draw closer. The best example of Biden's foreign policy disaster has been the Afghanistan debacle. Every promise his administration made about the withdrawal from Afghanistan was a disaster. 13 US servicemen were killed. The Taliban took over the country and hundreds of US citizens were left behind. This has prompted a furious backlash from the public, with his service chiefs grilled by Congress a few weeks ago. The general consensus was that the military high command recommended maintaining a ground force of 2,500 troops to aid the evacuation effort, but the president rejected the proposal. To add insult to injury, military equipment worth tens of billions of dollars were left behind and now in the hands of the Taliban regime. This situation has made Biden and the US look weak on the international stage. Now juxtapose that with the Trump administration that was noted for its strong foreign policy, and you begin to see why many people are disillusioned. Despite his abrasive style, Trump kept China at bay and no US troop was killed in Afghanistan over the last 18 months. He dealt with ISIS, eliminated al-Baghdadi and the top Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. He was also at the forefront of the Abraham Accord between Israel and several Gulf countries. Despite his divisive rhetoric, many Americans felt much safer under Trump than under Biden, and this may swing the election in his favor in 2024 should he decide to contest again. The US economy is in bad shape and the common man is feeling the pinch. Biden and the Democrats blame the pandemic of last year for the weak economy, but that argument appears to be falling on deaf ears as reflected by the polls. The economy is so bad that many are calling for the return of Trump's policies. But why? If you recall, before the pandemic of 2020, the US economy under Trump was one of the best it had ever been in recent memory. Inflation was under 3%, single digit at some point, and unemployment reached record low levels, the lowest in US history. Every major minority group recorded low unemployment percentages. Even people without a college degree or high school diplomas were employed. His America First policy was great for workers. With Biden, however, things have gone from bad to worse, with recent job numbers worse than expected. While it may be unfair to blame the current president for all the economic woes, his policies appear to have exacerbated the situation, and there are several reasons for this. First of all, he cancelled the Keystone Pipeline project and instituted federal regulations which destroyed oil and gas exploration in many oil-producing states. His argument was that fossilized fuel exploration has been bad for the environment, and he has a point. However, this policy move has transformed the US from an energy surplus country under Trump to a net importer of energy under Biden. This has led to rising energy prices, with a litre of gasoline costing as much as $5 in states like New York and California. The rising gas prices have created chaos across the supply chain and even scarcity in some places. Then is the issue of inflation, which has led to the increase in food and house prices. Over the last 5 months, Americans have seen the value of their income slashed by over 20% as they have to pay more for groceries and almost everything else. This has created an angry pushback by people who would consider themselves strong Democrats. If the Biden administration does not repair the economy as quick as possible, Donald Trump may ride back to power by campaigning on this issue alone. Donald Trump's return to the White House is becoming a possibility with each passing month. He remains the most popular politician in the country, and his shadow towers high above every other potential candidate in his party, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. If the Biden administration continues to implode and Donald Trump continues to wax stronger, Democrats may have to kiss their majority in Congress and the White House goodbye with the coming of the red wave led by Donald Trump. So that is about all the time we had today, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do hit the bell icon to remain updated about all our future videos. See you all next time.